Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mike here, and welcome to the last part of this tutorial. And in this tutorial, we will be talking about how to make everything work, like on the banner part and on the testimonial part. As I've mentioned in the previous one, we're going to make this work, and also we will be working on to the responsive part. So if I'm going to resize this in a browser, as you can see, when it reached to this point, it will turn to a toggle button to show the navigation links, and going down to the smallest resolution. It's still looking good, as you can see right there. So without any further say, let's go ahead and let's get started. So first thing you need to do is to re-download Bootstrap, because in Customize we can do it as well, but just to make sure, just download Bootstrap, and once it's downloaded, cut it into the desktop, extract it, and right here all you need to do is to copy the CSS. So from this Bootstrap, copy this CSS and place it on our folder. Just copy and replace to have it on our folder, and then copy this JS folder as well. Then what's next is to link this new files onto our index.html as well as the JS. Go to our text editor, and then so index and style. So on index.html we need to link the Bootstrap responsive. So the file path for that is CSS. You can see it also here. CSS Bootstrap responsive. CSS Bootstrap responsive. And for the JavaScript, go ahead to the very bottom, just above the closing body tag. Let's add the JS link. So script src equals to the path, and close this script. And for this one, we need to add first the jQuery. So go to jQuery.com and go hit this download button, and just scroll down until you reach on the middle, and you'll find this. Just copy this one and place it over above. And for the source for our Bootstrap JS is js/bootstrap.min.js. So our JS and new CSS is working, so let's go ahead and preview what will happen to our website. So as you can see, there are some changes, like here on the navigation links at the bottom. So in order to fix that, go to style.css and find table. As you remember, we wrap it in a table, and what we can do is to make it make the footer links here to display inline block. Let's see. As you can see, it's back on its own place, the original place. And here, as you notice, when we're on the banner part, the image here is placed on centered. What we can actually do is to make this full size. And how to do that is go search for hero unit, since we've wrapped this in a hero unit class, and then right here just below the background add another property, background size, to cover, and that will fix and make it full size, as you can see right there. So let's go ahead first and take care of the responsive part on the navigation. So to do this, on Bootstrap, go to components, and on navbar just scroll down until you find responsive navbar. So there is only a little bit of changes on the navbar. All we need to do is to just right below the nav inner here, just add this. So just copy it, add that one, make sure it's indent properly, and then to make the responsive navigation work with that drop down toggle, we need to wrap the nav into a div with a class of nav collapse. So just copy this, then paste it over here and cut this, place it here inside the nav class of nav collapse, and then save that, and let's take a look at our website. So as you can see, when I reach this point, it turns into a toggle, and we have a little bit of problem right here. So first, when we're going to hover over it, there is a background white. So let's just fix it. Go to style.css and find navbar, and just on the hover here, navbar lia focus and a hover, change the background to none. Add a background property, none, and that will fix the issue. Also, we need to make this floated to right, to the left, and style this to make it look minimal. So just right click this, and as you can see just right here, so navbar, so button navbar, button navbar. So let's try that and go ahead here, and just below this right here, let's try to background black if it's working. So it changes that one. So just background white and border to none. And to change this icon right here, so button icon bar, So that's it, the icon bar. Copy again, just right over here, paste that, and add this CSS property. Try to change the background to black. And then the box shadow to 0 or to none. Let's see. And it's looking good and minimal. So next is this one. So in order to fix that, as you can see right here, we've added a class of pull right. What we can do actually is remove this, save it, and as you can see, it's fixed. But when we resize it, the navigation is back to the left. So what we can do is on style.css, target the nav right here and float it to the right. And it will take to the original position, which is on the right. And again, when we resize this, we have a problem again. So go ahead and on the scaffolding link tab, they have this responsive web design tab, and we can use this one right here for tablet and landscape phone to portrait tablet. So what we can do is place this on the very bottom of the page of the style.css, and we can add some styling here. So when they reach this width of min width 768, the navbar, that nav will be floated to none. And if we're going to resize this, as you can see, it's fixed the issue. And when it reached here, we still have the same problem. So just copy it and place it right there, and it will fix. And I wanted to add spacing here because it's a little bit closer to the line. So what we can do is add a margin bottom to 20 pixels, the same as here, and that will solve the problem right there. And we are actually finished on the navigation part, and let's try to work on this part right here, the banner part. So to do that, go to JavaScript, and here on carousel, Bootstrap provided as a carousel, which is very easy to use. So we're just going to wrap it on this right here, this provided code, and each item will be placed on this item div right here. And this is the carousel indicators, which is this one. And the nav controls is this one. So to make that work, let's apply this markup on our static HTML. So let's just do it and go ahead and find the banner part. So process. So here is the hero unit, and this is the part we'll be working on. So to do this, just follow this markup I'll be writing. So div with an ID of banner carousel. Why I am changing this, as you can see right here, my carousel, because we will be using the carousel in two different parts, this part and this part. So just make an ID of banner carousel, add a class of carousel banner, and slide. Make sure you comment it out, and banner carousel. And inside of it will be the div with a class of inner carousel. And inside it is the item. So div class active item for the active one, and just paste it over here inside the item. Just indent it properly and make sure you comment out the item and item. So next is duplicate this 3 times for demonstration to make that work, and just remove the class active. Now that we have it, refresh the page, and we have this 3 duplicated images. So to make the carousel work, we need to call it via JavaScript here, this one. So go ahead to the bottom part, just go to the very bottom, and right here add a script and function and paste it right here. So script function and paste the that carousel here, and let's try to preview our page. Let's see, did I type it right? Script. Just zoom out to view it. Where did I go wrong? So function dot carousel script JS Bootstrap mean Bootstrap. Let's just check it for a while, and let's go back into this one. Div with a class of inner carousel. Oh, we need to make the class right here, change it to carousel banner to make it work. Carousel banner. Div with an ID and class of carousel banner, inner carousel, div class active item. Why is it not working? think I did it right, but why is it's not working? So let's just fix what's wrong with this. So JS Bootstrap min.js. Let's see if we've linked JS Bootstrap that min jQuery is working. Script function carousel. I'm not really sure why is it not working. Div with an ID of banner carousel, class of div with a class of inner carousel. Let's see. Oh, I figured it out. It should be carousel inner, and that will work now. So as you can see, we need to add now the controls. So to do that, just copy this one and place it just below the last item, and for the carousel inner just below this div. So just comment out and carousel inner and place it over here so that we will have that controls, and change this to banner. Save it, review, and our carousel now is working. And again, we need to install this one. So to make this, just go ahead to install the CSS and find banner. So portfolio. So just create another one here, just above the hero unit. Create a banner and banner. So we need to target the controls. Let's see. Zoom out. So inspect element, so carousel control. Go to here and that carousel control, and just copy what I've typed. So border radius to 0, border none, font size to 32 pixels, width to 30, height to 60 pixels, line height 55 pixels, top 40%, mean 45%, and background will be 0, black, and the opacity 0.7. refresh, and we have this one. What we can actually do is make this to the very left here and push this to the right as well. So for the dot carousel, control dot left to target the left, control change to left 0. And for the border radius, I want the top right and the bottom right corner to be rounded. So there's an easy way to do that. Go to border radius, and see the first one is CSS border generator, and just add a value here, 3, make this 0 and 0. Copy this one, paste it right here, and for the carousel right, just delete this and change this to right, make this right as well, and change the corner on the left side, paste it there, and let's preview. So we have this nicely pushed to the right and left. And for the carousel control hover, we need to remove that carousel control hover. We need to remove this one, the border on the bottom. So just type in border to none, and that will fix the problem. And as you can see right here, when we reach this point, there is a padding on the body. So as you can see, when you reach that 767, there is a padding right and padding left. So to remove that, just go ahead to the body, or I mean right here, that the padding will be 0 for the body tag. Let's resize it again and do it also here, and that will fix the problem. So we have make this work, the banner part. Let's go ahead and find other issues right here. So, and also here, when we reach this point here, this line, H line here, is not applying to this one. All we need, so just to fix that, when we reach it here, this line will be gone, but here it will stay, and here we will remove that. So there is some classes by the Bootstrap on the scaffolding part, responsive web design. We can actually use their classes. So when we reach this, phones hidden, and for tablets and desktop it will be visible, we need to use this class, hidden phone. Go to index.html, and on hline, find hline, and add a class of hidden phone. As you can see, when you refresh, resize the page, and the hline is gone. How cool is that? And what we can do also is to add a padding on the hero unit when we reach this far. As you can see there, it's very close to the edges. So what we can do is on max width here 767, just target the hero unit inner, the contents, and add a padding of 0 top and bottom, 40 pixels left and right. So if we're going to refresh, we have this, still have this nicely spaced. As you can see, until we resize it. How cool is that? So other fixes is the alignments. When we reach this point, as you can see, there is no spacing here, and also for this one right here and here. So what we can do is to target the classes we've assigned to it. Like on this part, on the process part, we have added a class of plan, design, develop, and launch for this 3 right here. So when we reach that point here, let's target it, that plan dot design dot develop and dot launch, and add a margin bottom to 40 pixels and padding 0 on top and bottom, 40 pixels on left and right. Preview it, and we have a nicely spaced plan, design, develop, and launch. Let's do the same for portfolio and on this partners and on the footer part. So plan, design, develop. Let's see on the footer part if we've added a class. So class testimonials, blog, and tweets. So just comma, testimonials, blog, and dot tweets. Save it and preview. So we have it, and we've done it right. So all remaining now is the portfolio and this partners area. So what we can do is, let's see first if we've added class for that one. So we haven't. So to do that, just target this parent container, partners, and the images. So just target that, partners and the images, to margin bottom 40 pixels, and that will solve the spacing right there. So in portfolio part, so we haven't applied any classes, as you can see. So what we can do is wrap it with a class of portfolio item or .p dash item, tab, do the same for every item, make sure it's closed, so just close it. And on the solid CSS, add a class of .p item. Refresh, and as you can see, it's well spaced and it's looking good. The last thing is to make the testimonial works. So it's very simple to do. Just on the testimonial part right here, H4, let's make this a working carousel. So how to do that? The same steps we've done in our carousel banner part. So to do this, div with an ID of testimonial carousel. What? Class will be testimonial carousel, and for the class is just reverse it, carousel testimonial, and slide div class carousel inner, and div the class of active item. Do the same, remove the active class, and make sure you've commented out, and carousel inner, and testimonial carousel, and just copy this and place it on every item. Just properly indent it, save it. So our markup is good, and we need to make it work. Add a comma and then copy this one and change it to what we've called it. So carousel testimonial. And let's see if it's working. Just wait. So it's working. So resize it. If it's still looking good, if it's resized. Still looking good for me, as well as here. So I think we've make everything work, and we've taken care of the responsive part. And let's see, it's working great for me. And what we can actually do is replace this logo. I don't think that this drop shadow will work on this type of design. So let's just open up our design. And remove the drop shadow, merge these layers, and create new file, paste it, make sure it's unhide the background, and save it as .png. Go to div, images, and brand, and I think that will work there. So as you can see, it's looking great. So I think that will be it for this tutorial, guys, and I hope you've liked it and enjoy the tutorial and how easy it is to use a framework in working on the HTML and CSS for a website. So just make sure you follow this tutorial, and if you have questions, just drop it down below and feel free to ask. So I'll see you guys on the next one.